As you can guess, the budget really the only topic being discussed today at the Capitol when they're not too busy working on it, I guess. Here to weigh in, our political analyst, New York Post political columnist, Fred Dicker. Fred, how about it? What are you hearing? What's the inside track on what's going to be in this when they finally get it together?
Well, it's worth noting, Liz, that the governor and the legislative leaders announced at 9:30 last night that they had an agreement. And here it is almost 24 hours later, and they're still not telling us virtually anything. So they've got it locked down. That means that there are a lot of things in this budget they don't want people to know about. Have you heard about the yacht tax waiver and the jet plane waiver? And a lot of people are talking about that one. Somehow in the budget, they found a way to give the very wealthy a waiver on big yacht purchases in terms of sales taxes. Same thing with personal jets. But we don't know what they're doing with education yet. On ethics, we still haven't seen a bill. And not only have we not seen one, despite the claim that they have an agreement, a little while ago, the Attorney General, Eric Schneiderman, weighed in and he said he hasn't seen it yet either, but from what he hears, he thinks it's a bad bill. So there's a lot of chaos down there. We still don't know a lot. The fact that they're keeping it locked up probably means it's pretty ugly.
What about the teacher evals that we're hearing about? I mean, do you have any insight on this at all?
Yeah, sure. I always have some insight, right?
All right, well, share it with us, Fred.
Let me tell you what this is really about. The governor's punting. He's retreating. When you give something to the state education department to work out the details, you're basically handing it to the teachers union. It's a huge retreat. The state education department is controlled by the Board of Regents. The regents are picked by the Assembly Democrats, every one of them. So this is a pass the buck. It'll probably be a compromise that the governor will get a little bit, but he's obviously retreated on his threat. Remember this, that he was going to hold up the budget unless he really got a change in the way teacher evaluations were handled. That's not happening.
And what about ethics reforms? I'm sure you have some insight on that as well.
We do. In fact, it's pretty ironic. One of the good government groups just pointed out that they're keeping the ethics bill secret so that to pass it, it'll require a message of necessity, meaning there's not 3 days for people to study the bill. So they're engaging in what arguably is unethical and undemocratic practices to pass what they call an ethics bill. Bottom line, it's going to require lawmakers to reveal who their clients are, if they're lawyers or other professionals, but there's going to be an exemption if a state panel controlled by the politicians decides to grant them one. So there's a big loophole in it.
All right. Well, they love those loopholes, I think. Thank you, Fred. Fred's on the radio, live in the state capitol, weekday mornings, 10 to 11, Talk 1300 AM.